Say hello to everyone. Next Open Virtualization Pro webinar. So welcome everybody. Let's wait a few moments for the others. Just let me know that you see and hear as well.
Also myself.
Yeah,
hello.
Show Jarek.
Yes, it's me. Hello, Timucin. Okay, so we are hopefully live now.
Hopefully everything works fine. Just let us know that everything works smoothly. You hear us well, see us well.
Good.
Okay, doke. First of all, I would like to ask, because I see that you have a really nice T-shirt today, and
This is correct.
And I need to speak with my team because I didn't get it. What you have there? What you have there, my friend?
Yes, I have here 3 logos basically.
Open Virtualization Pro.
Open Virtualization Pro.
Backup Monster. And some nobody
powered
knows.
by
Powered by Storware. But I'm more interested what's behind the scenes.
Yeah,
can you?
We don't have a mirror here, so I need to.
Go on, my friend. Yeah, KVMware, love it. Team, it's important because I just spoke with Leszek Warzecha, who is on the chat, and asked him a question that we need to do some promotion even during this webinar to have a chance for you to get this kind of the T-shirt. It's Open Virtualization Pro, KVMware, and we'll talk about the KVM actually today, even if it's not officially. In the presentation, we will cover the KVM.
Exactly, yes, that's true.
Okay, guys, so let's start. In 30-40 minutes, like always, we'll talk. We have today a topic called OpenShift Virtualization. What's new? We know that lately Red Hat released brand new release, and we have Jarosław Stakuń who will tell us in the details what actually changed and what we can find in the latest release. Honestly, when we have a last time conversation, I was a little bit thrilled see how it's easy to set it up, all of the configuration, and you showed me it was 4.5, yes?
OpenShift
4.6.
I think it was 4.6.
4.6.
And the virtualization was 2.5.
Okay.
And now we are up one version of OpenShift and virtualization as well.
Okay, so let's move forward, team, see what we have new. Like always, we'll start with some slide deck, then we will move to the live demo or recorded demo.
Today we have a mix.
Mixed?
Last time we had just recorded, but this time I have a mix of recorded and also live.
Okay.
To make it more complicated for myself.
Great. So let's move forward. Let's put the slide deck. Yep.
Yeah, so I hope you can see now. That's the deck, and we can move forward. Yes.
That's sure do.
Okay, so short introduction of myself first. So my name is Jarosław. I work as a solution architect at Red Hat. I'm focusing mostly on the containerization and application platforms technologies at Red Hat. I'm based in Poland. I cover mostly Central Eastern Europe. And for over 20 years, I have been doing pretty much the same stuff around the creating architecture of applications of different kinds. Now, of course, I'm mostly focusing on the cloud and containerization and the transformation to the cloud using the containerization technologies.
My name is Paweł Mączka. I'm CTO and VP at Storware. I'm one of the founders of Open Virtualization Pro, where we concentrate into building the community experts like Jarek. So again, thank you to have a time and share the best knowledge with us. It's all about you. So we do not try to sell. We're trying to educate, and we're doing our best on each webinar. You can see also have I have a guitar here. Lately, we actually built a new clip called "In Backup We Trust." Maybe we'll have a time to share with you. Definitely, but yeah. So technology geek, but also passion about music and and my
Yeah,
family.
actually,
and
you don't
GitHub.
have to be shy, because when I opened your video on the YouTube, the next suggestion for me after I was watching your clip was to some Metallica and Rammstein stuff.
So it's good. It's good.
So definitely, you don't have to be shy here. Okay. So actually, maybe we start where we finished last time, just maybe to give you some recap and before we talk about the new things. So the idea of the OpenShift containerization is basically to take the same technology stack we use as a virtualization foundation at Red Hat. So specifically the KVM, of course, the I have on my back QEMU, libvirt, all the stuff you know, and that is used in Red Hat virtualization in OpenStack for many years, and to put it into the containers and run it in OpenShift, managed by the Kubernetes, pretty much the same way as it is done with the containers. And there are a number of key capabilities, and those three I have highlighted here are those that are kind of new or extended in the latest version, and we will maybe spend a little bit more of time on them. So the first one is the extended support for creation of VM templates based on the golden images. So I will show you how to import the golden image and how to create a template for the VM based on the golden image. Also, there were some new features released related to the I would say to the high availability of the platform. So the live migrations, self-healing, and the way how the platform is maintaining the availability of the virtual machine. So I will tell you a little bit about it. And the thing actually we will start with will be the new tool for migrating at the scale VM images from VMware to OpenShift virtualization. Of course, just also as a reminder, the OpenShift virtualization is not really like one-to-one replacement for traditional virtualization platforms. It is more like hyper-converged solution based on OpenShift, of course, where we allow you to run within one environment with the same set of tools, the virtual machines and containers within one infrastructure. All right, so now let's move to the three topics I introduced. So the first one here is the new tooling for migrating the virtual machines, the images from VMware directly to OpenShift virtualization. For that, we have released a new tool called Migration Toolkit for Virtualization.
Yeah, it's important to know the shortcut. This is brilliant. Yeah. The MTV. Yeah, maybe younger generation doesn't know what is it. It's not Spotify. In the old times, there was a television like MTV.
Yeah, actually, I was expecting that it will catch your attention because actually I also was watching a lot of MTV. Yeah, but it was like, I don't know, 25 or more years ago. Now I guess MTV is something completely different.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have a new tool that is available as a operator, and gives you a pretty nice and easy to use tooling to automate the migration of images from VMware to OpenShift virtualization. And actually I have a demo for you, and this is the only demo I have that was pre-recorded, because this of course requires the connectivity to VMware environment. So let me show you how it works. So first, as I said, you need to install operator. So you see the OpenShift virtualization operator.
Wait a second, because I don't see it's not sharp. So let's.
You don't see?
Wrap up and wait. Maybe it's a problem with the platform itself. Do you see a sharp?
Yeah. So
yes, for you.
Okay.
How do you see the team? Because I need to know before we'll move forward. Just give us a sign. I don't see the sharps. That's why I want to double check. On the chat, just put on the chat, please. Sorry for that.
It's like fuzzy or what?
I can read it, but it's not really sharp. Okay, so the same here. So we need some additional explanation. I don't know why. You put as upload. You upload it or just open?
No, I open it on my desktop.
Can you squeeze? We will see if it's better or not.
Sure, I can.
No, it's the same thing. Okay, let's move on. We'll handle it.
Yeah, I hope. I mean, you don't have to watch too many details here, really. So let's move it like it is now. Okay, so the operator, the toolkit is also installed using the operator. So operator is already available on the operator hub. So if you only have a OpenShift 4.7, you should be easy for you to find it and install. And here you can see the toolkit web interface. So by default, if you will install the toolkit on the machine where OpenShift virtualization is also installed, you will see that the host here as a provider. So this is the OpenShift virtualization, and the first thing here we need to do is to install to connect to existing VMware vCenter cluster. So for that we need to add a provider. Like you can see here, we need to select VMware, provide the connection details here. So of course the name, the host name, username, password, and a certificate fingerprint for connecting with the VMware vSphere. And this is almost done. So yeah, let's just wait a second, and here we go. So now we are checking the connection, and you can see also the second provider, the VMware platform. So now what happens, the discovery process is starting, and you might see here that it discovers the hosts, VMs, networks, data stores. And this will be kind of input for us to configure the migration plan, where we will select the VMs, networks, and storages, data stores we want to migrate. So now we are going to create two templates for networks and for storages, so that we can reuse those templates in our migration plans. So in those templates, we will specify what VMware network and what VMware data store we want to migrate to what OpenShift virtualization network and the storage. So first we create a network.
Yeah, can we only right now attract and reach the VMware, or do we have other virtualization platforms where we can use the migration tool?
So this tool for now is created for VMware only. So if you have some external solution, you might import the images using the wizard that I was showing last time. This tool might be developed to support other platforms in the future, but for now it is only for VMware. And basically the difference is that here you can create some migration plan for really large scale VMs migrations. Yes, not only the individual VMs like with the existing wizard. So here you can see we map the network. So we listed the networks available in the VMware source cluster, and we map them to the networks that we can define or are already defined in the OpenShift virtualization. So the simplest one is port network, so the one where pods and also VMs communicate each other. So this is the network mapping, and in a second the same will be done for the storage mappings. For the storage, where we'll map the data stores that are present in the vCenter cluster to different.
Okay, so
storage
definitely,
classes.
if you have a proper mapping, you can even go through the whole of the data stores and the hundreds of the different VMs. Yes,
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why we do it that way, to be able to reuse the same configuration for multiple VMs.
How many simultaneous threads you can run? Do we know?
I don't know the
sizing?
details, but it is like advertised for dozens and hundreds. I would say probably the most challenge will be the bandwidth
between the hypervisor,
the hypervisor, because we will need to copy the images. Okay, now we can create a migration plan, so we can reuse here existing. So first we need to specify the source and the target provider. So we have just two, so it's pretty straightforward here. We need to specify the namespace where we want to where we want to store the migrated virtual machines, and in the subsequent steps we will reuse so here you can see we can filter VMs. So at large scale we can select here a large number of VMs, and but of course for this demo there will be just one VM migrated, and then we will reuse the existing network and storage mappings. Otherwise, of course, we can define here the new ones if we don't have any. So this is the mapping that was created before. Now we reuse the storage mapping, and we are ready to move to execute the migration. Just let's wait a second, and yeah, here we go. We have a summary of our configuration of our plan, and we are ready to move forward in a second. Okay, so now there is a button to start, but just to give you a proof that this will be not any kind of fake migration. You can see here that we will first log into the running VM in the vCenter, and we'll create quickly a empty file, MTV file. So it is done now. So we will see that later it will be present on the VM that will be migrated. So now we start. So what happens now? The way it works at the moment, it will stop VM running on the vCenter, and will execute the copying of the disks to the OpenShift virtualization. So here you can see the machine has been stopped, and the copying process is starting. Of course, we will speed up here a little bit to really not to wait too long. So here we can see the project where in OpenShift where the VM will be copied. So we can see that the definition is already in place and the importing is running. So it is using exactly the same mechanism as the regular import using the built-in wizard. But you have the nice management layer on top to configure it. So you can see now the disk is transferred. So it will take some time. So we will not wait. So here we go. It is done now. The import, and we should see that on the OpenShift virtualization, the VM should be now get started. Here on the vSphere side, it is down. But if we go to the OpenShift console in a second, yes, here we should see that the VM is running on the OpenShift side.
So like always, we need to disable we need to power off the machine, yeah, before the migration.
Well, this is how it works currently.
Okay.
But there is a plan to support some kind of warm migrations.
Okay.
Also, I think it is also connected with the new capability we are working on to support the warm. Sorry, not the warm, but the crash consistent and snapshots. Yes, which are neat. Okay, so now just quick proof that the VM that was started on the OpenShift virtualization has the MTV file that was created before on the vSphere side. So here it is, and the migration is done, and we can conclude this part of the demo for now. So the new tooling at the moment in a beta version should be GA soon and should make it quite easy to migrate at larger scale virtual machines from the vSphere to OpenShift virtualization. So the second topic for today is the new way of creating VM templates. Actually, the VM templates based on the golden images are already built in and generated in OpenShift virtualization 2.6. So the only thing you need to do is to import the images that will be the golden images that will be used by the templates. So this time I will try to show you this capability live. So we have the OpenShift console here. We have templates tabs as before, so we can create the new template just like I did it last time. But here you can see we have a list of pre-populated templates, and what we need to do here, we need to import the golden images. So for that we need to click here at source, and you can choose the four ways to import the images. So if you have some compressed file like with the operating system, you can use the first option. Then you can specify the URL. For example, if you want to import the Red Hat Enterprise Linux image from Red Hat portal, if you go to the download page, you will see the download button, and if you copy the URL, you can paste it here, and it will be imported to the OpenShift cluster. Of course, we can also clone existing PVC if we already have somewhere the PVC containing the image. And the last option, which probably we didn't discuss, is also you can create a regular container images that contains inside the disk of your virtual machine, and that way you can reuse the existing container registry to import those images. So I will skip that for now. I have already imported here some VMs like the RHEL and Fedora, and then once it is done, you simply click on create, and here simplified wizard, just basically even nothing no information needed to provide, and you just create a VM and you have now a VM. I just turn off the starting of the VM, but you can see that the VM itself is created. So it's quite easy now to reuse operating system golden images as a source for different VMs. Okay, so that was the topic number 2, and topic number 3. I think the for me the most interesting, really.
Yeah, I think for most of the people who want to use a virtualization engine,
yeah, exactly,
and be aware that something can happen with individual pod, yes, for example.
Yeah. So again, last week I have shown you and we discussed briefly the live migration capability of OpenShift Virtualization, which allows us to migrate the running VMs between different nodes. Of course, what is required here is the RWX storage, so the shared storage that needs to be used as a storage for disks. Also, you need to remember that there might be some constraint related to the fact that your VMs might use some resources that are specific to some nodes. Like, for example, here you can see the bridge connection, so the networking. Also, if you use some local host storage, this might be also this will be also a blocker for live migration. And you have seen last week that I have initiated the migration from the GUI or command line. But what is also quite interesting about the live migration is the fact that they also might be executed automatically. Yeah, so. And actually, the way this...
What was the name? The pod descheduler? Descheduler? Can you come back?
Descheduler.
Descheduler. Eviction policy. I need to learn, wording for the future.
Yeah, we don't have maybe much time to like go into the details, but really the point here is that the way this automated migrations works is pretty much the same as the regular eviction of pods of containers is running in Kubernetes. So if you use things like pod disruption policy or the pod the scheduler you mentioned, they might also be executed against the VMs the same way as against the containers. Also, what is important here, and I think it's a new feature also, is that now you can specify the eviction policy, eviction strategy for your VM. Actually, now that you have only one option, so either you will specify that your VM should be live migrated, or if you don't set this value, by default it will be restarted, and this will be the way how the eviction will be executed in case of, for example, any node failure, or when the node will be drained because of some maintenance activities that will happen. Also, what is for me quite interesting is that the VMs also follows the same rules for hardware resources management, so the resource quotas, the requested CPU memory, limit for CPU memory, the same way as the pods. So you might have exactly the same situation and the same type of VM quality of service class in for VMs like for the pods. And if you know a little bit more this topic, you know that depending in which quality of service class your VM will be running. They might be different order. This will impact the order of migrating and descheduling VMs in case of if this will be needed. Okay, and then before I will show you some of these cool features live, the self-healing. So again, the self-healing for VMs works pretty much the same as for pods. The only difference is that there is one additional layer here. So there is a virt handler daemon set, and this daemon set, in addition to the Kubernetes to the kubelet, also is making sure that the node is available and ready to accept the VM traffic on it. You might create liveness readiness props for your VMs, quite similar to how you can do it for pods, and they will be also automatically checked and verified. And if there will be any kind of and if they will fail those props, they will be also evicted according to the strategy you defined, pretty much the same way as the pods are killed and start again if they fail their props. So a lot of interesting capabilities here. I will try now to briefly show you how this looks like on the real environment. So I'm back to my console. So let's see here the virtualization view. I have here the Fedora HTTPD VM running. I have started before, and here we can check first in the details view that I have here the eviction strategy configured as a live migrate. Of course, in order to be able to execute this strategy, you need to remember that the disk needs to be RWX. And now let's see some more details here in the YAML. Unfortunately, they are not visible in the web console, but we have here nice capability to hide some unneeded information. So first of all, you can see here this part. So this configuration tells the basically this configuration impacts how QEMU will assign CPUs.
So kind of the flavor, yes.
Yeah, exactly. This is the kind of flavor configuration. You can see here there are three options. Basically, from what I have learned, the way they work, they are simply multiplied by each other to specify how many vCPUs will be assigned. So this is maybe not very useful, but what you can also configure here, you can configure, for example, the CPU pinning. So if you want to pin some CPUs to the VMs, you can do it from here. You can specify that instruction. And there is also one more interesting configuration, which is here. So here you can see the typical pod resources requests configuration. Also, it is based on the flavors, and this configuration, this request of resources will be also visible for the Kubernetes scheduler. So the virt launcher pod, so the pod which is running and which is kind of owning the QEMU process of the VM, will also specify this value as a requested resources. So it means that they will be calculated into the resources that are consumed on the node. Yes, because the value that we specify here are just instructions for the QEMU, and they are not visible for the Kubernetes scheduler or kubelet. So from the Kubernetes point of view, this VM will be just
taking
consume
these
those resources. So there is, as you can see here, for example, there is no limits of CPU here from the Kubernetes point of view. So it means that this VM is in the burst stable quality of service class. Then if we move forward, we can see here the liveness probe. It is a bit simple. It has a little bit less options. So basically what you can specify here, you can choose here a test of open TCP socket. And also I have the second readiness. I have also readiness probe here on the bottom, and you can see that the other option is to send a HTTP GET request. So it's a bit simplified than compared to what you can do in the liveness and readiness probes for the pods, but still pretty useful. And now I will show you that this really works pretty well. So you can see I have a test here executed every 20 seconds, I believe, that checks if the port 8080 is open and if the HTTP request can be executed. So now I will log into the VM and will stop the service so that we can see what will be the okay, we are in the VM already, so as simple as that. So I have stopped now HTTPD, and we can come back here to the overview. And here you can see very quickly the first liveness probe has been failed. According to my configuration, there will be two more attempts, and if they will fail, or maybe one more attempt, and if they will fail, the VM will be restarted because the readiness and liveness probe will be failed. So we need to wait a few seconds, and we will see that the VM will be automatically restarted, just like the regular pod. Now we can see it's the virt launcher is stopping, and the VM is being restarted again.
This deleted a little bit scary, but I understand is a kind of the logical interpretation. Yes, it's not.
Yeah, so I have specified the liveness probe and then the readiness probe, which is checking if the HTTPD service is running. That is my logic, and if it's not, I want to have this VM to get restarted. Yes, you might of course have some smarter tests implemented that will make more intelligent tests before your VM will be restarted. But you can see behavior is pretty much the same as for the as with the containers and the pods. So now I think the console, now it's starting. It's not very fast in my environment.
Yeah. In the meantime, I found it because I was thinking, how I reckon the MTV, coming back to this MTV. I'm sorry for that, but I'm still thinking. And of course, yesterday I was used Dire Straits, and they have a money for nothing. And I just sent the first sentence. Now look at the yo-yo. That's the way you're doing. You play the guitar on the MTV. They didn't work in. That's the way you do it. Money for nothing, and the checks for free. So this is how it's working. Yes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay, maybe just to last thing here to show you before we conclude this demo. So let's come back here and see again the resources consumption. So let me just hide some data here, so you can see that we have this 4 gigs requested here, and then we can check the pod, the virt launcher, which is executing our VM, and here we can see that in the requests. So here we can see that this has been translated directly into 4 gigs in the megabytes here, but this has been translated to the request of 4 gigabytes, and for the CPU, because I haven't specified any requested value, only the minimum has been selected, and there are no limits here. So basically, in that configuration, by default, the VM might consume all the available resources on the node. But if you would define the limit on the VM side, they would be also created here. So that way you might manage the resources consumed by your VM from the Kubernetes and scheduler point of view, exactly the same way as for the containers.
Nice one.
All right, so that was the demo, and I think that's all for today. So the 3 new features, I hope you find them interesting. There are many new things to come. We talked a little bit already about the capability for the warm migration. Also, the interesting feature will be the support for snapshots of running VMs, so the crash consistent snapshots and the application consistent snapshots. So pretty useful for migrating the VMs.
I just told you before the webinar that I'm trying to, as fast as possible, do this OADP and Storware vProtect. It's important because this will be available through this new API that is available actually in 4.7.
Exactly, yeah. Also, what we are going to do here, we want to allow the hot replacement or change or addition of new network interfaces to the VMs, new storage to the VMs. So the capabilities that are useful for and are used in the virtualization environments also are coming here.
You know what is funny? When I heard first time about the OpenShift virtualization, I said, "Okay, we have a time." And this also what I said on the last our webinar, that I really do believe that it's going much more faster than I thought. It's not that we should wait at least 3, 4, or even 5 years. It's actually, even the MTV tool, and you providing a quite easy way to go from the, I don't want to say old workloads or the legacy, but from the virtualization stack to the OpenShift stack. It's really interesting, and I'm often, let's say, personally curious how fast and how gather pace this trend will goes. But definitely we see that this OpenShift virtualization is developing each version with the normal OpenShift.
Yeah, exactly, and it's connected with the containerization. Yeah, so there are more and more workloads that are containerized, but there always will be some workloads that you cannot or you don't want to containerize. You want to keep them in VMs, and this could be a really great option to keep them together in a one environment.
I'm curious when most of the customers will ask the question to themselves: shall I start with the OpenShift virtualization or with some other virtualization engine? I'm just personally curious how many customers or the partners or the IT teams right now struggling with this kind of the question. Of course, it's still OpenShift about containers more than the virtualization, but that it will change in the next months and years.
I agree, and I'm also curious how this will develop, because there's more and more interest in this technology. So let's see how it goes.
Do you know any developer? I think there are some few in Poland, yes, even in Red Hat, that they're working on this project. Actually,
you mean virtualization toolkit? Yes. We have a couple of guys who are developers of this solution.
Okay, guys. The funny part is that we have 27 people right now. We have 29, so it's even better. Unfortunately, we're running out of time. We have 2 things ahead of us. First one is that Leszek already put on a chat that we will send the questions, because I believe that some of you would like to have the same t-shirt as Jarek has today, with the backup monster open virtualization and KVM were on the back. So definitely Leszek will work on it, send you some questions regarding this webinar. So feel free to rapidly ask, giving us the additional information. We'll send this t-shirt to you. Also, if you it is not just favor, if you could even do some selfie that will promote it on Open Virtualization on Facebook, we'll be more than happy. Of course, we cannot force you to do it because of the GDPR and the other stuff. But think about it. That could be even it could be awesome. And the last thing, so Jarek, like always, it was a pleasure. What will be the next of our webinar? What do you think? Do you have anything in your mind for our audience to prepare them for the new dose of the knowledge?
Well, there are a couple of topics we didn't cover yet in regards to OpenShift. So maybe service mesh, for the networking stuff in OpenShift might be a good topic for the next session.
Okay, so let's think about it. Yeah.